Storm Area 51 is underway, and let's talk a little bit about remakes. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
Alright, so let me just give you a quick update on the situation of my garden with my neighbor. Well, yesterday I mentioned it. I don't even know when I mentioned it. All these days are a blur. They become a blur to me. But a couple of weeks ago, I lost one of my lizards. It ran away. I almost given up on it. And then my neighbor told me, hey, I saw it in the garden area here right in front of my house. So I started looking. I put some traps there. Nothing happened. A day later, the neighbor said, oh yeah, the landlord came by and said that he's going to take all this stuff down and take it and put rocks on it. So yeah, so just heads up. Everything here, the whole garden area is going to be gone. And so I was like, fuck, all right, well, I need to get rid of all these weeds here to see if I can, one last ditch effort to try to find the fucking lizard. So I pulled out all the weeds, I took out all the gardening stuff, all the decorations, tables, anything that was there in the garden area, I pulled it out. I left that thing clean. No dice, no lizard. But as I was doing it, I was like, did this son of a bitch just play me? Did he just trick me and then he's playing with my emotions and he knew that he could manipulate me based on me trying to find the fucking lizard just so that I would clean up his fucking lawn, his garden areas. Was this a play? I was like, you know what, Dario, you're crazy. You're a paranoid person. It's too wild. It's too crazy even for you. But let's wait and see what tomorrow happens. Well, yesterday was that day's tomorrow. I hope that made sense to you people. But no rocks were put in. Lo and behold, no trees were taken down, no bushes, there's no rocks, nothing fucking changed. So, let's just say my suspicions have heightened quite a bit, and I am not happy about this, and there will be consequences if that fucker played me. First off, let me just... Very clever. It's actually pretty hysterical. If you played me this way, it's actually hysterical. It was great. Masterfully done. It was brilliant. However, there will be consequences over this. I am a crazy person, and you do not mess with crazy, all right? You don't mess with crazy. I can't let just people walking around there in the world thinking that they can mess with me and there won't be any consequences. There will be. I'm not sure what they'll be, but you're an old man, so there's a lot of stuff that can do. And before, I know what people are thinking. Oh, he's an old man, let it go. No. You're never too old to learn not to mess with fucking people, all right? You're never too old to learn a lesson. So, hopefully, I'll give it the weekend, and we'll see. I know that I just sound like a crazy fucking person. There's a few things that set me off, and I mean immediately set me off. One, I don't feel like, if I feel that I'm being taken advantage of in any way, because I try to be a nice person, I try to help out, but if I feel like you're trying to take advantage of my, let's say, usual good temper or my ease, because I take things pretty lightly. I'm pretty easygoing, or at least I think I am for most things. If I feel like you're trying to take advantage of that or me in any way, I immediately take a turn and I have to do something against you because I need to balance things out. I believe in balance. I believe in karma. So and my mama always told me, like my mom, if anybody hits you, you hit them back twice as hard. So that's what I believe. You caused the first damage here. Now I got to damage you back. Otherwise, the world will be off balance. So that's one. And I completely blank. Oh, yeah. Another thing that really grinds my gears is if you mess with my food. I immediately see red. I am like a combination of Ross and Joey from Friends. There's a famous clip on me on the show going, my sandwich! My sandwich! Or I can't tell you how many times in my life I've said, Dario doesn't share food! So... yeah, I have issues. And you know what? That's actually a lie. I do share food under my terms. I don't mind sharing. I don't mind if I'm given the option to share. I'll do it, usually because I'm a nice person. However, if you take my food, there will be consequences. Dear ones. And usually, and I know what people are thinking, like, oh, what are you going to do, really? I don't like telling people what I do. I like just messing with... I love messing with people. I do. I really, 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 really enjoy messing with people. And I enjoy it even more when I don't tell them that I did it. So It's little things. It's simple little things. I don't need the satisfaction of you knowing that I mess with you. In fact, I think it's better because that way it kind of drives people crazy. Like let's say I'll go for an extreme example that I've done. Like let's say you walk out of your car and there's no air in your tires. I'm not saying that your tire was slashed, but there's no air in your tire. And all of a sudden it's like, fuck, god damn it. And you start switching it out and there's a part of your brain that'll go, was this fucking Dario? Was this because I did that to Dario? What could it? No, it's probably was just one of those things that happened. So I like those types of things because I just took the air out. You can put it back in. I didn't actually damage your property, so legally there's nothing you can fucking do, bitch. Also, fucking prove it. So stuff like that. Messing with people in general, it's like, for example, if I know somebody who's really OCD, really OCD, like some, I don't know if I want to admit this one on here because then you might tell. Am I risking it? No, I'm not gonna risk it. I don't. Let's just say I like messing with people who are really OCD. It's really easy once you pick up on people's certain, quirks or habits or body language in general. It's really easy to mess with them. I'll give you like a simple example. I used to date this girl, and she was a righty. And I've done this several times, but I remember her particularly. She only liked drinking with her right hand. Alcohol, I mean. Water she could drink with her left and everything was fine, but alcohol she only liked having with her right. Why? I don't fucking know, but she always had it in her right hand. I noticed this. Why did I notice? Is she crazy for doing it, or am I crazy for noticing? You're probably right on both ends. The point is, I noticed this. So whenever I was kind of annoyed with her, or something like that, I would go. I would just grab her. I would put my arm over her and just be really close to her on her right side. That way, her arm was kind of pinned, and so there was no comfortable way for her to take a drink with that arm. So she could with that arm. It would just be really uncomfortable, and she doesn't really like doing it with her left. So she did it with her left, but it was still very uncomfortable. So I could tell that she was getting annoyed, and I could tell that she was uncomfortable, but couldn't really tell why. So it's one of those things that I'm messing with you, but I'm not. You don't know what I'm doing or how, and and it's a teeny tiny little thing. It's such a ridiculously tiny thing that it makes it easy. So the point is, I'm gonna get that guy if he fucking tricked me into doing his fucking gardening, because I don't like doing fucking gardening for free. I'm Hispanic. We get paid for that shit, okay? We don't do it fucking free. Anyway, God, I went on a rant there. I think I might have completely blacked out on all the shit that I said. But anyway, point is, Lizard's still missing. Now, Storm Area 51, the big day, the big weekend finally came. I mentioned this before. I wanted to go. I really, 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 really wanted to go because, I enjoy a good party, and this sounded like it was going to be ridiculous. And so I wanted to go out there and check out all the stupid people and see what they were going to do. And because it seemed like, I'd say 90% of the people going there just were like me, like, oh, this sounds so stupid. It's going to be great. Let's just go out there and be stupid for a while. Now, the event got canceled, and it got moved to Vegas, which to me made it sound even better. But as I mentioned before, the reason why I can't go, I have the wedding of my oldest friend. I've known this guy for 25 years, and he's getting married this weekend, so I guess I kind of have to go. And then, I was like, all right, I already have a previous engagement there. Why they didn't do the wedding over at Area 51, I have no idea. I think it would have been quite memorable. I guess it's because they're Mexican and they can't get married in the States. But doesn't matter. They should have done it. Anyway, so the point is I couldn't go, and I was sad. Now, see, they moved the thing to Vegas, and I thought that was better. I think I already talked about this. But apparently people still showed up at Area 51, and I have no idea what they're doing. I've seen a little bit of the live stream, but I've found no rhyme or reason to what the hell's going on, so I got a little bit annoyed. And they don't seem to have... In fact, while I'm talking about this, something might have happened, but what are they doing? There's a bunch of like crazy people, like really hardcore alien people there. I'd be scared out of my mind because these people are insane, and you don't know what they might do. But also, there's always going to be that one idiot. If it were 300,000 people, they could still shoot you. Honestly, I think the U.S. Army, I think that they have enough bullets to take care of all of you. If not, I don't think maybe you've heard of something called missiles. and so, those things kill a lot of people at a time, or they could just, run tanks all over you. So this whole thing of they can't shoot all of us, nah, they can. They can shoot all of you, especially when you reach those big-ass reinforceable, because I didn't see anybody there with any type of equipment to bring down a wall or or a door, like anything, freaking a trebuchet, something, like a crossbow, whatever, anything that, a stick, like just a tree, whatever, anything that you could use to break down a wall. I didn't see anything, so they were just gonna probably be there and rush the door and knock politely. I don't know, seems stupid, but I would have liked to be there and see. I want to see the moment when the first idiot runs, because that dude's gonna get shot to hell. And probably it's going to be rubber bullets or tranquilizers or something. But it's not just going to be one. It's going to be a lot of them. And so, or tased. I think he'll get tased. Or all of them, or sprays. Or there's a chance that once the first person rushes, they'll just shoot out a whole bunch of tear gas or something. I want to see what happens. So that'll be entertaining. But I don't have to watch it live. Honestly, the live stream, it's a lot. It's just a lot of nothing, so I can just wait and see the highlights on the news. To be honest, I can wait, because I think it's gonna be a whole lot of nothing. Stupid computer. It's gonna be a whole lot of nothing. They should just go to the party in Vegas. Just go out there, party with Maddie. Maddie's probably having a great time with his Bud Light endorsement. Dude's gonna have the party of his life. So good on Maddie. Smart for getting the fuck out of there. We'll see what these idiots do. Hopefully, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, you know what? Darwinism. If we lose a few of these idiots, Darwinism. I'm okay with it. Anyway, I'll probably talk about that a little bit more about that maybe on Tuesday. I don't know if Monday, because Monday I got a lot of the rewrite of Game of Thrones to get into. But anyway, I saw this news, and I found it was very upsetting. Apparently, there was an interview with Norman Lear, who is the producer of a little film called The Princess Bride, and they asked them about a possible reboot or remake of The Princess Bride. Now, for those of you who haven't seen it, The Princess Bride is a classic 1987 comedy that has a whole... I guess it's... A lot of people know it by the memes. Like, inconceivable. Or, like, that word... You keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means. So, there's a lot of memes that come from that movie, and honestly, it's comedy gold. That movie is phenomenal. It's a classic for a reason. It's so stupid. It's so cleverly written. It's so ridiculous. It's just genius. You got Andres the Giant's brilliant performance. So it's a great movie. I highly recommend it. It's perfect product of its time and space, and it aged pretty well. I saw it recently, and by recently I mean within the last year. It holds up. The comedy still holds up. It's a timeless comedy. That's what I want to say. It's timeless. So, however, them trying to remake it sounds incredibly offensive. But let me just read you the quote from Norman Lear himself. Again, the film's producer. Very famous people, whose names I won't use, but they want to redo The Princess Bride. Now, everybody and their mother has been pissed off by that quote. Nobody wants to see The Princess Bride remade. Nobody wants somebody to try to remake something that was already perfect. And that brings me into the topic of remakes. I hate 99% of them. 99.9% of remakes, I fucking hate them. I don't see the point. I don't understand them. It's why would you... on certain products and certain projects, I can see why you could be like, oh man, you know what? If we remade it, I could do it better. Some of them, I get it. With better technology, with better casting, with better budgets, I can get it. But it has to be a bad movie. I understand making a remake of a bad movie if the charm of that movie is not that it's actually a bad movie. Does that make any sense? Because there's certain movies that are bad, and they're good because they're bad. If that makes any sense. I can give you a few examples. Now, actually, let's just say most of Adam Sandler's comedies are bad movies, but they're good because they're bad movies, if that makes any sense. They're ridiculous. They make no sense, but they're funny because of it. Or the now fucking classic, The Room. You know, it's considered the worst movie ever, but it's a cult movie now. People love it because it's such a bad movie. So those movies I would not touch, but a mediocre movie. Let's not even touch the bad movies. Let's talk about the mediocre ones that have a good idea, but it was just badly, what's what I'm looking for? It's not reproduced, but badly hit on. No, it was badly made. All right, good idea, badly made. One of those I don't mind that much because I still don't like it because it's not original. I have no idea when filmmakers in this case I guess it's the money people because it's mostly money people, when they lost their balls. I have no idea when they lost, this hunger to make something new. It's all remakes, it's all sequels now or reboots. Why? When did you lose your spirit? When did you lose your hunger? When did you lose actually trying to take a risk? And I get it. It's projects that are worth millions and millions of dollars, and you want to play it safe. But this is the reason why film is, in the crap hole right now. TV's taken over because if you think about it, TV is just like a really long sequel. Well, not a really long sequel. It's a movie that is super long, and it has sequels because you have season 2, season 3. So I can see why you can spend more time with characters. People like spending time with characters, and it's all continuous, and it's easy to follow along. But so I'm mixing a whole bunch of ideas right now, and I'm pretty sure it's sounding really confusing. And it's okay. I need to focus on one thing. All right, losing that that spirit of adventure, and I get it that creating new content is hard, creating something original is hard, creating something entertaining, and again, TV has taken up so much, and I don't mean just taking up the viewership. They've taken writers. Now, the reason why TV's gotten better is because they've hired better people. They've hired better writers. They've hired better actors. They've hired better directors, and so they've taken a big share of the talent. But that doesn't mean that film still can't be bold. They can't be brave. And TV itself, also be bold, be brave. There's a reason why most reboots or remakes suck, or they're nowhere near as the original. Like Girl Meets World. I didn't love it. Didn't hate it. But it was nothing compared to the original. 90210. Nothing compared to the original. What was it now? The all-female Ghostbusters. Sucked balls. The all-female Ocean's 11. Sucked balls. Nobody watched it. You're just burning money. Now, all the fucking live-action remakes of Disney. Why? Why are you I've complained. Every single person who's seen The Lion King, who saw the original one first. I ain't talking about little kids. Little kids will say whatever. But I'm talking about the people, the OGs, who saw the original one first, the cartoon one. Every single person has told me that they completely agree with my assessment. It's the exact same movie without any charm. No magic, no charm. So it's a worse version of the exact same movie. Why? They didn't even take any risks. Nobody's taking any risks. Nobody's doing something bold. Nobody's doing something different. Nobody's doing nothing. Well, I mean, some people are, but I'm exaggerating. I'm being facetious. But yeah. So why would you do that? And I remember the moment that it really upset me, the moment that it bugged me the most was when somebody did the remake of Ben-Hur. Now, I get it how somebody might think, oh, with modern effects, with modern technology, we can make Ben-Hur look a lot better, blah, blah. Ben-Hur was the movie that had won the most Academy Awards until Titanic, right? It was considered one of the greatest movies of all time, maybe the greatest movies of all time. One of the greatest film achievements of all time. And some a-hole director had the balls to say, you know what? That thing that everybody thinks is the best, I can make it better. Are you fucking kidding me? Why? Why in the fuck would you think that? I mean, I get it. If they offered you enough money, if they offered me enough money, I'd be like, all right, I think I can do it too. But why the fuck would anybody think that's a good idea? Just let it be. It's so hard to make a good movie. It's not easy. Like, even the best movies have their flaws. It's hard. It's a hard medium. And there's no way to please everybody, but overall, why would you go after the best? Why wouldn't you go after something that you could actually enhance? You cannot, as Eddie likes to say, you cannot recapture magic. No. Even if it were objectively better, people are still going to like the original one better. I don't know why. It's one of those things. I remember I read a study once that said that usually the version of a song that you like the most is the one you heard first. So even if objectively another one might be better, you're still going to like the one that you saw first because it's the one that you heard first. I'm sorry. Same thing applies to film. Exact same thing. You could have even a better actor playing Han Solo, which, by the way, we didn't. But you could get a better actor to play Han Solo. We still wouldn't like him as much as we liked Harrison Ford. We wouldn't. It could have been Chris Pratt. It wouldn't have been the same. Okay, I'm annoyed by a lot of things. One is the arrogance of thinking that I could do something better, something that's already been done, something that's already. Film is not like you're just gonna follow a fucking recipe, okay? A lot of people like to think there is the hero's journey and all that stuff, and it's just a recipe and you just follow it. No, it's not that. Even if you follow the recipe to a T, it might not work. It's weird. It's a very weird medium. It's difficult, and it's not for everybody. And sometimes you need somebody that has an it factor. It's really weird. It doesn't work as other forms of art. It doesn't work as other things because it's a combination of them. Anyway, so the arrogance of it. You can't. Also, the laziness of it bugs me because you're grabbing somebody else's work and just doing the same thing. So it's lazy and it's arrogant. I don't see how those two things mash up. All right? I can't see how somebody who's lazy can be arrogant. Well, I do. I can, and it's a huge character flaw. Also, it's very cowardly. All right? Because you're not risking, putting a new idea out there. You're not risking. I mean, so you might be risking pissing a lot of people off because you change certain characters or their stories or backgrounds to try to make it more modern. Again, that's stupid. It's my head's starting to hurt. Now, understand adaptations, like, this cartoon and I want to make it into a live action or I want to expand on it or something. I still don't like it. So far, I have never seen anything adapted that I've liked. Or let me think of that one real quick. Off the top of my head, I can't think anything that I consider better than the original. Not off the top of my head. But oh man, I burned out. I'm burned out. I'm getting like a migraine. Seriously. Let's stop it with the remakes. And the way that we can stop with all the remakes and all the reboots and all that shit, don't watch them. Do me that favor. Don't watch them. Avoid them. Or if you want to watch them, don't pay for them. And now, I'm not saying that you should get piracy and stuff. I'm actually very against piracy, but just wait for a streaming service or something. Watch it there. Don't go to the movies and watch remakes. Don't give these people money. They don't deserve it. They didn't do anything actually worth deserving that. Nothing. Well, I mean, I guess they went to work and all that. They actually did work, but they're just stealing somebody else's work. They're ripping it off. Somebody else actually did all the hard work, and now they're just trying to remake the same thing. It's like if I was going to say if I painted the Mona Lisa, but you need to have a certain amount of skill to paint the Mona Lisa, so I guess it wouldn't be a fair example. But let's say I made the McDonald's secret sauce or something. I don't know. I think you can fucking understand what I'm saying, right? It's not the same. It's just a cheap copy of something, and usually it's not as good as the original. So I don't know. I want this trend to end because I'm really worried about the way the industry's going. It's suffering, and it's because they're not doing anything new. So TV will take over eventually. I think it's just they're doing better stuff, and they actually take risks in storylines. Now, sometimes TV can get a little bit too annoying with certain things. Like, I hate when I can tell somebody's political agenda in a TV show, and that's one of the reasons why I try to avoid political stuff on this show. It's because I can tell, and it annoys the fuck out of me. It's annoying. I don't care. If I'm watching a show, I don't want to think about all that stupid stuff. It's stupid. If I'm watching football, I don't want to think about all that stupid stuff. It's annoying. Just it's an outlet. It's a way for me to relax. All right. So I don't know. That's it. That's it for today. I'm burnt out. I'm done. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I forgot to mention this. If you want to listen to the podcast, you can always find it in the iHeartRadio app. Just type in the show presents Super Dario World. You find it right there. Or you can find it on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube as Super Dario World Podcast. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me on Instagram at Dario the Show. By the way, thank you for all those who've reached out about doing a podcast in Spanish. So far, it sounds like people would be into that. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work yet, and I have to work out times. The thing that I want to do first is want to go back to video. So I want to do this thing on video once again. I think I've got because I'm doing video for the P1 podcast now, and I think I've got that down enough so that I could actually start doing mine on video once again. The times have worked out so far pretty good. I'll just have to bring my laptop to edit it out there. So while one is loading, I can edit out the other one, or I can record it and then edit out somewhere else, and then I can render them both at the same time. I don't know. I'll think about it, but the point is I want to go back to that first, and then I'll probably do the Spanish thing if I have enough, because so far the response is positive, but it hasn't been like that big. So I'll wait. I'll put a pin on it. All right, at least momentarily, because I want to get the other thing going again. And let me see, what else did I want to talk about? No, I think that's it. I think I'm just burned out. On Monday, I'll be back with the rewrite of Game of Thrones, and I'll talk a little bit about the Storm Area 51, if anything big happened. I don't think it did. I don't think it will, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm off. So, as always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again on Monday.